Welcome to Insights Live. I'm Rebecca Selby, joined today by Terri Hiskey, Vice President for Manufacturing within our Product Marketing Group. How are you doing, Terri?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Doing well, thanks. I wanted to talk to you today about digital transformation in manufacturing specifically, since that's your area of expertise. What can you tell us for customers who are just starting down that journey?
You know, that's a great question because digital transformation is something that all manufacturers really need to consider. And I think the biggest thing to keep in mind is that you don't have to boil the ocean. You don't need an overarching strategy that covers your entire company or your entire manufacturing processes. I would recommend, thinking about what are those little things that you think could make a difference if you go from a paper process to an automated process. So start small. Start with small projects. Figure out what it is you need, what results that you want to get, and then implement them in very small controlled instances just to kind of get your feet wet and understand how this all is going to come together.
Can you give me an example of what one of those small steps might be that they would take?
Sure. We saw a great example of this during one of our keynotes, actually, where a manufacturer can invest $60, $70 in a small sensor and actually put that on their equipment, either out in the field or perhaps on the floor, to monitor production levels and performance. And that is just one way. You can set that sensor up to feed data back to a central source, and you can even control that sensor through a mobile phone or your cell phone. And those are just cheap, inexpensive ways to kind of just test the waters and get started on the journey.
It sounds very easy. Do you have any other easy ways that someone could dip their toe into the water?
That usually what I've been seeing, at least in this mid-sized manufacturing space, is people are really concerned with equipment performance because they don't have enough resources to manage and monitor the equipment of all of their equipment that might be distributed geographically, maybe not even where their plant is, but perhaps miles and miles away. Used to be people would have to physically go out, look at the equipment, write down the performance levels, write down whatever metrics you're tracking and bring them back. And so what manufacturers are figuring out is we can just add these sensors on and automatically get this data. We set thresholds to understand when this equipment is starting to fail, when it's getting too hot, when it's getting too cold, whatever those thresholds are, and you get that information back automatically, and you can adjust and not have to waste time or resources sending people out when you don't know what the situation is. You can kind of gather all of the information you need right up front, and then decide what your plan of action is to remedy the situation.
So less tedious, more efficient.
Exactly.
Thank you, Terri. I appreciate your time. If you have questions or if you'd like more information for manufacturers, please visit epicor.com.